Hello friends, my name is Theo, and today in this exciting Mr. Media tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at the basics of adjustment layers. Adjustment layers are one of Photoshop's more powerful features for photo editing. They're really great because you can apply an effect and then just have that effect take place in one little spot and then be able to change everything about that as you go on and be completely progressive with your editing. So I've got this picture right here of this tree, and we're just going to use this. We don't have anything particularly in mind, just going to go through some of the more common adjustment layers that you might use. So the first one we're going to be taking a look at is our typical levels adjustment. The levels adjustment, it shows our picture in a histogram. And what a histogram does is it shows the vertical axis, sort of how much of the picture is in what luminance range, and the luminance is at the bottom. So you see here at the bottom is black, and you see we don't have much actual black in this picture, so it isn't very high. Up at the top is white, and we don't have any pure white in this picture, so we don't see any of it up in here, but we've got a lot of this kind of bright mid-tone range, and you can see that's probably this part of the sky here in the clouds. As you drag these around, you can say everything, dragging this black one, everything below it gets black, so it kind of just compresses that, so you can just really crunch it up really hard if we want to. See the white, everything above this goes pure white, and then kind of compresses everything down below it. And then in the middle is our mid-tone, so everything below it is dark and everything above it is bright. You can see dragging it this way, we get more darkness in the picture. Dragging it this way, we get more brightness in the picture. Then we also have these here at the bottom. This shows how deep we want our deepest black and how bright we want our brightest white. So you see, drag this up and it changes our output level down here. So everything we have mapped to black down here actually gets mapped to this sort of mid-gray color here. As you just drag that up, you can get these really neat, airy looking effects. And then same with white, you drag it down and everything we have mapped to white gets mapped to actually this sort of gray thing here. And this is a really handy effect. And you can also do this per channel. So if you say you just want to change what's happening with the reds, you can do that. It's a little more advanced stuff that we won't get into today. I'm just going to reset everything here with this little button down there. So this is what a levels effect does. What does adjustment layer mean? Well, adjustment layer means you can see up here, we have it as its own separate layer. So if we say we want to darken down the sky, we can drag this down and then select on this layer mask here. What a layer mask does is it tells what part of the layer is visible and what part isn't. So you see this frame is all white now. So that means all of this levels adjustment layer is being applied to all of this background layer. So if we go to our brush tool by hitting B and selecting black over here, we can start painting in black, and you can see over here, this is an area where the levels adjustment isn't being applied. So if say we wanted to just darken down the sky, we can just paint in over here. Get a really cheap little graduated ND filter going on. So it's really quick and easy like that. So you can see how powerful adjustment layers can get when you get into other effects. So let's close this down and we'll add another common one that I use a lot, and that is a gradient ramp. What a gradient ramp does is it works a lot like the levels in sort of theory, and it maps via luminance, so blacks to whites, color. So you can do black and white like this, so mapping black to black and white to white, so it just takes out all the colors in between. Or you can click on the gradient and you can select some of these presets. So see, mapping black to purple and white to orange, you get this kind of weird effect. You just kind of click through some of these, or you can make your own. So if you wanted a sort of sepia looking thing, you can just click in there and make it brown like that and drag it around. So you got this kind of gross looking effect, but it's cool. So you see you've got black mapped to black, then these grays mapped to this brown color, and then whites mapped back to white. So if we wanted to even put a different color in there, like green, which is really awful looking, just put that in there. So you can see kind of how this works. This isn't really a good looking one. We'll keep it just like this. I'll hit OK. So now the next part of an adjustment layer is you can actually change the opacity and blending mode. So if we like this effect, but we just don't want as much of it, and we don't want to try and, we just can't think of how to reduce it, you can just go to opacity and bring it down. So now we've got this cool Western looking thing from this gross, sewer looking picture. Just bring that down and make it look a lot neater. So before and after, just kind of, gritties it up. So that's a really handy thing. You can also change the blending mode. So you can just scroll through these with your scroll wheel. I won't explain what all these do, but you can see how you're getting a lot of different neat effects that you wouldn't be able to do if you just applied this effect straight onto the layer. So just all sorts of really interesting things that you can do. And then also, say if you got something weird like that, and you can just reduce the opacity and, make something that looks awful like that. I'm sure there's cooler ones you can do. That pin light was pretty neat. It looks kind of like, radioactive alien planet. It's cool. And then, of course, you can also, like I said before, use your layer mask and just paint away stuff you don't want. So if you just want toxic radioactive sky, just do it quick and dirty right there. You've got it. Look at that. So that's sort of the basic concept between adjustment layers and a couple of my favorite ones that I like to use. If you have any other questions about it, be sure to leave it down in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. If you want to see more stuff like this, be sure to subscribe to the Meissner Media YouTube channel. Once again, I've been Theo. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.